broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I just gotta let this song sit in. Welcome to another edition of Scorpion After Show here on AfterBuzz. My name is Nando Velasquez. You can find me on Twitter at NandoVel, and my co-host right next to me. I'll start with the one next to me.
Yes, I do love this song. Can we just have this on in the background the whole time? Just slightly in the background so that when we're talking the whole time, we're just like bobbing our heads. See? Marissa gets it. Yes, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. And to my left,
ooh, hello guys.
I like this. We're just passing a buck
I was
here.
like left, right.
That's odd.
And Brazil's
What's
different.
up? I hope you,
Subsies.
I don't know.
What's
Okay, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I just had like amnesia for a second. At Marina Santos Fit.
Awesome. And hey, you guys, I'm Ryland Adams. You can find me on Twitter at Ryland_Adams or on Instagram at Ryland Adams with no underscore.
Awesome. And now that we got all that out of the way,
Seriously.
we're
It feels
back.
hard.
We're back with this bi-weekly edition.
Yeah, because it seems like we're not
Of
coming back
Scorpion.
again next week.
There were no clips for next week's show, so I haven't had a chance to look up on IMDb. Wi-Fi seems to be a little freaky, but my guess would be another 2 weeks. I don't
They're
know.
killing us.
Well,
Probably.
let's not talk about the next
Yeah,
new
yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Let's talk about this new episode, because this episode's called Once Bitten, Twice Die. After there was an 80s song called Once Bitten, Twice Shy. What was that, by Poison? I can't remember now. All right, I'm dating myself.
I was gonna say I was born in '88.
I'm dating myself.
91.
But anyway, well, instead we decided to play Clint Eastwood from the Gorillaz, so that's a better song.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this episode, because I want to get your impressions on this, because I got to be honest with you. I don't know what it is, the momentum from this year, just every other week for a new episode, but this one didn't grab me like the other ones did.
agreed.
Agreed. Yeah, it just wasn't as I don't think it started. I don't think the build to the story was as strong as it normally is. It kind of had me like going in and out. We even had to like rewind once to like make sure we knew what was going on.
Yeah, the writing felt a little different. I don't know if they have different writers working different episodes, but it definitely felt a little different than the other ones. And I felt like they were moving pretty fast about the thing, like you said, the build up and the things that would be important for the show and make it interesting.
Yeah, it was a little different.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a different writer. I also felt like it was very mediocre. And then something would happen, but it was like, all right, I don't know. I don't believe you.
I mean, they did throw in some great moments between the characters, but that is like evolving the characters' relationships,
Right.
not the storyline of the new episode.
and I think that's what we have a problem with tonight. Yeah.
I felt like that there was that one scene when everyone was pointing guns at each other, and then Walter had to explain exactly who was going to die and why, and all the vector angles and all this stuff, and he pretty much bored everybody out of shooting people. He bored everybody.
Yeah, it was
And I kind of
strange.
feel like that was the perfect summary of this episode, because I think we were loaded with a lot of facts
and information.
and information,
Little
and a
bit.
lot of it was just thrown at us, and not a lot of it was really needed.
Yeah. The same with Paige when she finds out that it's a snake poison. That she comes in, she starts telling the whole history of the thing. Somebody's dying.
Yeah.
Like nobody gives a beep.
Well, there was a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
There was a lot of those, even from the very beginning, from the first news report. That
Yeah.
we saw that news report where they were talking about the three countries, Belarus, trouble in Belarus, talking about Lithuania and Latvia, and then they show the air traffic controller with the plane that disappeared. It was just like
Kind of-
so much thrown together,
and
so fast.
jumbled. The
Yes.
thing is,
Yeah.
I get that it's the first season of the show, and it's been doing really good, and they keep changing the format of the episodes. Like, at the very beginning, it was kind of consistent, and then they kept changing it up episode to episode, and I think they're just trying to find their footing. This one just didn't work as much as the other, so maybe
Yeah.
they'll just take note of that.
Now, there were things that I did like. We'll go over we'll go over the bullet points, I guess, on this episode, because again, I feel like there were so many facts and everything. I think a lot of it wasn't as important, but we definitely got to see a little bit of character development, which was
Yeah.
obviously the best parts
Of this episode, yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit. Let's start off talking about Paige, because I thought it was very interesting that Paige is. Well, first of all, that Paige is going to night school.
Kind of convenient, right?
Yeah, to finish her degree, and she's taking a class in European. I wrote it down somewhere, like European history, I guess, or European government.
history,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she's doing this whole thing on European history to finish her degree. And I feel like obviously she's doing that. She's she's in an office with a bunch of geniuses.
Yeah, and which
And-
has to be intimidating.
Yeah.
And not only that, she wants to set a good example for Ralph, which I respect as well because she was a waitress before. It's like she wants to set a good example for her genius son, even though he probably doesn't need to go to college. To be
Right. He's
honest.
probably not going to go to college.
He possibly
No.
won't. He might be
Yeah.
too smart to want to go to
Yeah.
college. But I think it sets a good example
But I think
when your parents do it.
I think it was mostly she didn't mention, but like a sense of fulfillment.
Right, I think
She
it's
had
for her.
She had to drop
Personal
off
goals.
because she got pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like, okay, I'll go back and I'll finish something I started and something that I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Walter also kind of shuts her down, being like,
Yeah.
there's only 4 good subjects: math and science and science and math.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cute. But but obviously she's trying to, and she seems to want to impress people with what she knows. Even though this might not have been the case that we really, we lost a little interest in because there was just so much information, so international. This was perfect for someone studying European history. Like,
right.
hey,
They're probably just eating it up.
she wrote 25 pages worth of, a 25-page
Analysis, yeah.
report
Can
on
you
analysis.
imagine how exhausting that would be?
Ain't nobody got time for
About
that.
European
Nobody.
history too.
Nobody.
But I mean, it came in handy.
No, I
Paige
mean-
does always serve a great purpose for this show. I do have to say.
Let's get something clear, and this is not. If your background is anywhere from that region, this is not meant to be an insult. She wrote a 25-page report. Someone
couldn't do
who is not doesn't have a college degree yet,
Right.
is going to night school. 25. I mean, it was hard enough for me to do like a 5 or 10-page report.
I don't like
Yeah.
writing
The lo-
one-page stories.
The longest one I've done in college was 10. and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made so much crap.
And it
Yeah.
was
There was
25
so much fluff.
pages on Belarus, Latvia, and Lithuania. Like, you're not even allowed to include like England or France, the interesting part of like some of these other
Right.
bigger European countries. It's all on these 3.
Yeah.
Which is like, can you blame Walter for not reading it when he's playing with his cool green screen?
Well, that was a pretty awesome. And like little creation that he made. I guess he created
Yeah.
that or toy, whatever it was he created. So we'll talk more about that. But what was interesting was she has like trying to be Walter in this episode by constantly giving all this information out and making sure everybody has seen her report and not just seen it. Because when Walter said he saw it, that wasn't good enough for her.
If
They
Like, I know
read
what
it.
you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you put all the energy into a 25-page paper, you would want everyone to see it too. You'd
Oh,
be
hell
like,
yeah.
look at me.
Yeah, especially when the topic at hand has to do with
What
what
you're
you're
doing.
doing.
Yeah,
I
she's-
would have felt the same way.
cut
I've been
that
like,
weave,
hello,
girl."
I
Yeah.
wrote this. It's
But-
beneficial.
But she's going over to like the assistant secretary of the State Department, and she's like
Yeah.
trying to outdo. I mean, and look,
But which works in
Yeah.
the long run.
in a fictional story like this, apparently it works because apparently nobody cared about her report on customs and the culture, and Paige ended up, doing some fabulous things that got everyone together at some points.
I mean-
but it was pretty ridiculous that nobody in the government really cared. It's like, yeah, whatever, we don't care about
No.
their
We don't need that.
customs.
As you wouldn't, but it's just useful information for Paige to have in her back pocket
Yeah.
while in the situation. So she's like, don't read my paper, but I got your back.
yeah, it's true.
Well, yes. Well, the gang's called in because there's war, closing in the. I guess is that what region is that? Is that the Baltic region? I guess. Forgive me if I scan. I'm
no
not sure,
idea.
but it's in
don't
Eastern Europe. Yeah, it's in Eastern Europe between
all
Belarus.
like
Which is
nodding
really
our
sad,
heads.
but I
Like,
can't even point it at a map.
No.
Okay, I'm not sure. I forgive me if I said
So
the wrong
we need
region.
to go to college again
We
as
need
well.
to we need to look at a map.
We need to
ASAP.
revisit.
No.
Apparently, we did
no.
not read Paige's report either, so that's the problem. But anyway, there's war coming in that Eastern European region between those 3 countries, and as a couple of people said, it could start World War III. So it's very, very volatile, and they have flown all 3 of the presidents, in the exception of one of them was a prime minister, as Paige told us, because the president in that country is only a figurehead, really. To Los Angeles, of all the cities, to Los Angeles, convenient for Team Scorpion, under the radar, which Sylvester felt really guilty about, but he hid the plane from the air traffic controllers, and into a private airfield, to a place in, I know that area. I think that's Simi Valley, actually. They flew him into Simi Valley. And
You're well versed in the LA region of filming, Nando. You're always like, I know that place. I know that place.
Well, I was there on a shoot. They shot a reality show there. Not that I was in it, but I was covering it. WWE Tough Enough was shot there. The season where Stone Cold Steve Austin was the host. So I recognized that when they were running down the stables into that, finding that false interest. I know, weird. I just happen to remember these places. Yeah. Anyway, So all of these three dignitaries are in Los Angeles to work out a peace contract, and the government doesn't want anyone knowing that these three are here, because if they fail, this sounded weird, even like the government's not even like
sure that they're
the government's even like, I almost thought like they were in on the mystery later on too. Because there seemed to be some clues, because they were even not, they didn't seem positive that they could fix anything, and they didn't want anyone knowing that that there was peace talks in Los Angeles, because if they failed, it would make things worse.
Right, the region would like freak out or something.
Yeah, because Merrick was talking about that, and I thought that was weird. A
lot of this episode was weird.
A lot of this episode was weird.
But
yeah. So anyway,
let's just
put that in.
Let's just put that in. It wasn't just that, but you're right.
Yeah.
I was like, Merrick, sit down.
So let's
just
let's just talk about this whole case, and then we'll talk about Toby, Happy, Walter, everyone else right now. Let's just get this out of the way, because again, there's a lot of confusion. But Paige gets the three presidents. We'll call all three of them presidents, even though one of them isn't. Gets all three presidents to celebrate a peace toast to Honeymead. And one of the ambassadors, to be honest, they showed them so fast with their names, I got confused by who was who.
Right.
Who actually brought the honeymead. He was the one who ended up getting poisoned.
Yeah.
And there was a whole bunch of other things going on. Who did who did it? We saw the shootout scene. I already brought up the whole scene where everyone was about to shoot each other, and Walter bored them to death, and they all put their guns down. And we saw the doctor come over, and he was going to treat them with adrenaline, but then Paige overheard something. First of all, Paige plays music to calm everybody down. Like, music soothes the calming beast.
It was like a zombies thing. It was like, like in a zombie movie, like, play something or does something. If something happens, they're like, ugh.
It was.
I mean, it does make sense I don't think it would stop like a war or like a feud, but like if all these people like grew up to this song and they like picture their moms like
how
singing
could we
it to
fight
them?
to this song when we grew up listening to it together?
I get where she's trying to come from, but it wouldn't
Mitzi
have
von
worked.
Schneiden was the name of the artist.
No.
And she
Yeah.
was like born in one country and went to school in another and something else in the third. So of course all three regions claim her as the daughter of their country or something like that. Yeah.
Another one of Paige's ideas. Paige did keep saving the episode with
Yeah.
her knowledge of all of this history.
Yeah, 25 pages of it.
Yeah.
I still thought it was a little ridiculous.
Well, yeah, yes, of
with
course.
all the experts in that room and all the high IQ.
The song is what's going to save the day
Yeah.
from her knowledge of
And
history.
I mean, Renee Munoz, who was the assistant secretary for the State Department, like she didn't even want Paige in there. And
No, she's
Right.
like, get her out.
I actually, again, another reason why I thought maybe the U.S. there was something sneaky going on with the U.S. government in this thing, because she seemed a little weird trying to
Yeah.
kick Paige out.
She was a little...
But
And I thought
that's realistic, though. That would be the realistic situation.
Yeah, she'd be
which I
like,
think,
get this
who the
out
hell
of
is
here.
this chick?
yeah, which I think was one of my problems with the episode is I felt a lot of things were not believable. At least for me, I was like, I don't believe you. And you want to believe it, and that's the most realistic thing that happened when Renee was like, get her out of here, like, or when
who
she
is
was like,
she?
you never talk to a president, and that's
Yeah.
true. In the status of Paige, she would never talk to the president.
Yeah.
Right.
It would be Walter. So it's like that was to me one of the more realistic parts of the episode, but it did make her seem, not guilty, but something.
I thought that was
Questionable.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was
Little
interesting
star.
when Renee said that, because obviously Walter has his own social awkwardness, is socially challenged. So she told Walter, you do not talk to a president like that. But Paige is usually the one that gets to be the cordial one and say I'm sorry or hello or whatever it is or hello or whatever it is that to smooth things over.
Right.
And here Renee is saying you don't even get to talk. Like I'm putting the muzzle on you.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting to me too. But we see obviously after the honey meat thing and Callow standing by his team. There was a lot of this about Callow standing by his team too, in particular with Paige. He trusted Paige, and then Paige overheard something that brought her back to this other story, the story about the snake, and that was another, okay, got
Too
it.
long.
A missed funeral, and somebody, snake venom.
poison.
That's right.
Trying to figure out what snake it was from the region, because there are apparently 20 dangerous types of snakes in what was it, Belarus area, I
Belarus.
believe, which
Not
makes
moving there, that's for sure.
well,
No.
that makes it sound more dangerous than Australia, and I thought Australia had like 7 of the top 10 most dangerous animals.
don't
Just
tell
like
me this.
chilling in their neighborhoods.
Yeah, just chilling in their neighborhoods.
I mean, I don't know
What
how
up,
much
homie?
truth is
No, in
behind
the
it.
outback, in the
Yeah.
wilderness.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
because
like-
you never know. There's snake. Like where I grew up, I was telling you guys, there's like rattlesnakes everywhere. You can walk in your backyard and there's a rattlesnake.
There's you should go online. There's a link. This has nothing to do with Scorpio, but you should look it up. It's crazy. If you don't want to do this, because it will make you change your
Okay,
mind about
well,
visiting Australia.
what am I doing?
It shows you all the crazy creatures and animals that live in Australia and where you could find them if you visit Australia. But I don't know how much truth is behind it. Like there's one
Interesting.
where there's like a plane taking off, and on the side of the plane are all these snakes attached to the plane.
See,
Snakes
And
on
What
the
is the
plane.
name? Yeah.
Or and there's one where
I've
it
seen that
shows
movie.
you
I'm not about that life.
coconut crab,
Oh,
which
it's
are
gigantic. It's like
gigantic.
this.
So like that
Yeah.
you can find the coconut crabs in the trash cans on the streets of Australia.
Well, anyway,
Yeah,
there's
okay.
another dangerous animal called a scorpion, so we're going to get back to that. Speaking of venomous animals, scorpions are also a little. So, scorpion versus snake. So, here we go. So, Team Scorpion is believing Paige based on what, her history lesson and what she thought she overheard.
Because she said she's 100% sure, and then Cape's like, "Yeah, we're going."
Yeah,
with
which
it.
I thought was a good. I thought was a good move to
Yeah.
show faith in Paige.
Right.
Paige isn't the kind of person to just throw stuff around, so
Yeah.
I could see that. That was a little more believable
she's
to me.
proven
Callow,
trustworthy.
Callow trusting Paige, I think, is believable. Renee letting not being able to kick Paige out, maybe not as much. But Merrick, who is the agent in charge over there for Homeland, he is not buying it. He's not believing Scorpion. He is pretty much considering everybody in there a suspect. He has the whole place on lockdown. There is a cyber noose that Team Scorpion is already putting in place just to track emails and phone calls to see if they can figure out who the killer is, who the assassin might be. And they're trying to figure all this out. We see this really big scene also. I don't want to gloss over it because it comes into play later where Paige tells Toby about the possibility of the snake venom, and Toby runs in and grabs the adrenaline shot from the doctor
Right.
and wrestles it out of him and ends up breaking it with his foot. I believe it was him that did that
No, it
one,
was
right?
Well, it's
Cape.
Cape.
It was
After
Cape.
he
Oh, Cape did
tackled
that
him
one.
against
Yeah.
the wall, and then the guy that was trying to put the venom in,
Yeah, the
then was
doctor.
like, "I'm doing it. I'm finishing the procedure that I started." And then Cape came and
That's right. It was Cape. Sorry, but Toby still started that whole thing. He was the one who
Yeah.
got the adrenaline off first, which I thought was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Seeing Toby doing a little bit of that. But anyway, so Team Scorpion works on a plan using the nice little toys that are like color forms or like what was it? It was color forms, and there was something else that did green screen, the green screen
Yeah.
color form thing, to make the government officials, the security, think that there was somebody outside taking photos of the location.
right.
We have Happy, Walter, and Paige escape on a taco truck, which was ridiculous.
And mean to the taco dude. Like I wonder. They
Why
said
didn't
they
you
were
just
going to
bring
return
them
his
with?
truck.
Yeah,
they should have showed.
brought him with you.
Yeah.
They're government agents. They even when they drove off, they said, "We're doing this for the government or whatever."
Yeah.
We're gonna bring it back. But
Yeah.
the thing is, I would have loved at the end if they would have just shown like the taco guy like getting back in his truck or something.
Yeah. Or just like shown them giving him back the truck, and
Yeah.
it's like all beat up.
And
It's like,
Monty's
here you go.
favorite scene was actually Happy beating Walter up. Obviously,
good.
she was talking.
We're
before.
actually gonna reenact that.
No, we're not.
I wanna see this.
No, we're not. So I thought that was pretty
Punch
funny.
me.
Though Walter's
50
like
comments and we'll make it happen.
50
I like
comments.
it.
We're always throwing out these comment things.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
People
so
want what they want.
Walter
Mando.
asked.
So the Selena Gomez.
Walter asked Happy to punch him. Happy says finally. She gives him a good slug. They do this little ruse. Don't do that. They do this little ruse and get the taco truck, drive it to drive it to the I guess the zoo where they're keeping a bunch of snakes, and their plan was to take a snake. During that whole process, Sylvester and Toby figure out that they're going for the wrong snake. They arrested the wrong person. They originally were going for, I believe, the Belarus ambassador, and then they ended up realizing that it was the Lithuanian Nikos.
Nico.
Yeah.
It was his own.
It was his own
Yeah.
people
His own
who
person.
was poisoning the Lithuanian president. And there's that little fun scene with the code word, like how do you write back to these people?
Confirmed.
Whatever,
No,
totally.
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Confirmed. Okay.
It was ridiculous. But anyway, the good news about that is I guess there are 20 types of venomous snakes in Belarus, but there's only one in
How
Lithuania.
convenient.
So it's
Only one.
much easier to figure out what kind of snake this is now. You only have one snake. Very convenient. Let's talk a little bit really quick about the whole snake pit. I thought it was really funny seeing Walter doing a little bit of...
Definitely the most entertaining part of the
Oh, for
episode.
sure.
Because it had me like screaming, so.
Yeah, I think all of us. Played
you
that.
were screaming.
Yeah,
Rylan was screaming.
freaking
about it.
hate snakes.
No,
It was very Indiana Jones.
not about the show, but like, how do they shoot that? Do they have like trained snakes?
Oh yeah, that I never even thought of that.
I think that was pretty fake. That snake seemed pretty
Yeah.
fake to me.
Really? I thought
I
it looked
was-
real
I
when it
wasn't
like
even
looked
paying
into it and it
attention.
had like the mouth open.
It was Walter's
So you
own
think
technology.
all of those snakes in
Oh,
that
yeah, it
thing
was
were fake?
It was that green
Yep.
screen color
Photo on photo.
photo on photo.
I would think, yeah, I kind of felt like they could probably create that. Yeah.
It was
That's
probably
a-
a real snake that they
Just
just
if
put.
I was Walter, I'd be like, we need a stunt double now.
I found it really weird that when he was on top and he was looking down, there was like what 30 snakes that you would see.
You would have
right?
thought he would have killed half of them
And then he
falling down.
fell, and we saw one
No, two. There was one in the
in the
branch.
tree. All right, that don't count.
Yeah, because he was looking down and there was so many. And then,
And then there was not, and there was and you only saw one, and I was like, how are you only worried about that one?
Yeah.
Aren't you sitting on 20
yeah, they're
of them?
probably coming behind. That's like
Yeah.
my
You
worst
smash them.
nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Well, it was
Alright.
crazy, but it gave Happy an excuse to start wrecking the place up because she
Yeah.
gets a garbage can and slams it into the glass window, and those things break pretty damn easy.
I know,
That made me
right?
think twice when I go to a zoo with
Yeah.
dangerous animals. Those things break really easily. She broke two of them. She broke one to get the snake. Once Walter got the snake to bite him, which was another scene you were screaming at.
Yes. I would not just let a snake willingly bite me. I'd be like, all right, we're going in. Like,
Yeah.
no way.
That was
Not-
ballsy.
That's not something
It
that's
was to save a
happening.
life.
I'm sure Paige thought that was
Uh-uh.
hot. I'm sure Paige thought that was a little hot.
Well, yeah.
But,
No.
No, she
No.
was scared. She was worried.
No, she was worried.
worried.
But
My baby. My boo thing.
but anyway,
When baby tripping.
yeah.
She's
So
like, at least I still got Drudo.
so anyway, I don't know. I don't understand how to make anti-venom, but I guess they needed the ferret. They needed a host, and they needed to mix the venom in, give the venom in to the host. Not enough to kill it, but just enough to have it, I guess, form antibodies, and then they were going to do something to split the antibodies from the plasma. I don't understand all that. But anyway,
Stuff that's above
they
us.
grabbed the ferret. They injected the ferret with the snake venom. On the taco truck, they started driving off. Walter was sick already, and luckily he was handling it better than the president. But I don't know,
But
just
made
craziness.
some confessions to Paige.
Yes,
know.
we'll get into that. So then Walter, I don't know how they figured out how to get the ferret, separate the ferret escapes.
Yeah.
All this
Yeah.
crap. Whatever. Anyway,
Stuff goes down.
Stuff goes
You
down.
saw
I
it.
really feel
Paige
like
goes down.
I really feel like
Paige goes down. Took a tumble.
I feel like
Away.
I know. She just laid there.
She did. She just said that.
Like run after
ferret.
it.
Ferret.
She turns, so
Perfect.
she's like, I let it drop.
She's pretty. She's pretty.
She's pretty.
She can do whatever she wants. She's pretty.
Yeah, you do you, Paige. Rylan loves you.
For real though.
All right.
Okay. Let's
Oh,
focus.
Ring us back in.
No, I know. I just don't know what to say. I don't.
This
I'm
will
just
go
trying
for
to
the
wrap
whole
this.
show.
You guys want to talk about Paige Fawn? We'll talk about Paige Fawn. I just want to finish this part of it so we can get to the good stuff.
It's just, it's true. She fell and did nothing. That was
Yeah.
something that needed to
It
be
was too
said.
slow.
Yeah.
And did nothing. She did nothing.
It wasn't her choice. It was whoever wrote and the director and producers. We'll give Paige the
Yeah.
upper hand.
But you know what was a little ridiculous about the whole thing? Like, it was such an easy fix. Happy caught the ferret.
Yeah.
Right.
Happy caught the ferret. Excuse me.
Of course Happy
That
caught
was-
the ferret.
But that was such a oh my God, all is lost. No, because Happy caught it. It was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
They didn't
yeah.
even show it. And like, why wouldn't she help do it? She just goes, "Oh, I dropped. Okay, I'll go back inside now."
And out of all of the over explanations that happened in this episode, all the facts and figures thrown at us, this was the most like,
Yep.
oh, just natural. She caught it. Like she didn't even do anything. We don't even know what the hell she did to catch the
Nothing.
ferret.
And then after they caught
Yeah.
it, they didn't even know what to do with the ferret.
let
They
me
didn't even
tell
know
you,
why they were searching for the ferret
Well,
because they
that's
didn't know what
why
to do with
I don't
it.
understand. I like blinked, and then they figured out
How to do it with a salad shaker from the taco truck.
Yeah, that was it. And that just felt weird. It was like they just decided, wow, you know what? We've put way too much information in the first half of the show.
So let's just
We got to wrap it up. Let's just
wrap it
salad
fast.
shaker, ferret, got it, done.
blood done.
And
Everybody's
everyone's-
okay.
And then
Happily ever after.
And then they have that one scene when Walter wakes up where he gets to see, I guess he felt like maybe his equipment wasn't being used the way he wanted it to be, because he had a lot of pride in this moment when he walks in and sees that they're using all of his equipment, his voice modulator, I guess, or his voice, whatever it is, and the whole green screen color form thing, I just like calling it that, to make that fake news report to make it look like war was about to go
Show them
down
what
in
would
the
happen
region.
if they didn't make peace.
Yeah, and it convinced all of the all of the presidents to sign this peace treaty. So, and I guess Walter just felt really proud about it, and because Paige was the one explaining it to him, I think that had something to do with it too.
Makes it even better.
And okay, so that's that. So let's
The evolution of the relationships of the characters.
yeah. So let's get to this. So let's start off. I want to start off with since it really segues well from the ending. Let's talk about Walter on his deathbed before Happy finds a ferret, and he's talking about the dinner reservations from
Valentine's
I can't remember.
Day. It was for
From
Valentine's,
Valentine's Day.
Day.
So it was like almost a month ago.
Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
2 weeks ago, I guess.
And he keeps apologizing.
Yeah. So
As he should.
so what do you think about? Yeah. So obviously, Paige now is learning a little more information about Walter's intentions, and we haven't. This was another episode about Ralph. We haven't seen Drew, so what
They'll
do
come
you-
out of the woodworks.
Well, not yet, but well, what do you guys think about what Walter said?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy that he, in his like drugged up state of mind, is speaking the truth. And although it's super Waltery, though, even when he is drugged up, because he's kind of revealing just enough, but not enough, but enough for Paige to get what's going on. So I just hope Paige gets the hint. I think that she does, but I want something to evolve even further.
Yeah, I just hope that they bring it up again in the next episode.
Oh, they will.
they're gonna bring it up
Oh,
in
of
3
course.
episodes.
Yeah, in 3 episodes from now, like a month from now.
Yeah, and that's what my problem is going to be. I think the same thing's going to happen with Toby and Happy's story. Like, they're just going to put a pin in it, and we're going to hear about it in 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I hope not, because I agree. I think this was enough.
3 episodes, 6 weeks.
In 6 weeks. We'll see you guys in 6 weeks. But yeah, totally. I totally agree that helps at least Paige see a little bit of it. Makes her think twice.
Yeah.
She might second guess.
Her reaction wasn't anything crazy. She
No.
kind of just, oh.
Yeah, you better apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really see any. I mean, we saw a couple more scenes with the two of them. We saw Walter asking for a favor and getting Paige to her final on time.
Yeah, because she
at
was
night
all
school.
upset that she wasn't
Yeah,
gonna
but
make it.
we didn't really see. And we saw a little scene between the two of them at the end there, but it didn't really come
It
back.
felt like they were going to shake hands and part ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
they
like
didn't even
wasn't
do anything.
romantic. She was just like, bye, Walter.
Yeah, that was about it.
It was cute. It was,
Yeah.
Yeah, good, not great.
not great. I actually am shocked on her end. I thought it would have been her that would be more like lingering, maybe, because she heard him say something
Yeah.
while drugged, and then she was like, "Okay, bye. What are you doing, Paige?"
That is weird that she didn't.
Right.
Address
You would have
it.
thought she could have addressed it. And that would have
Or
been maybe
even
the
just say
moment.
something like,
Right.
"Hey, maybe we should talk another time." I want, or like,
Or
like
just make
Give
a
us
slight
something.
mention.
We've been waiting. What is this? Like, what episode are we up to? A
I
lot?
don't know.
18.
Give us something. I mean, they gave us something on
gonna
the
be the
Happy
last
It's not
Toad.
episode.
18. What episode?
No,
what
it is
version was
18.
It is 18?
Yeah.
God, wow, we're flying 18.
18. They
Really?
gotta give us something soon.
I
or
feel like
we're
it's gonna
out.
be the
In 6
last
weeks.
episode of the season. They're gonna give us.
No.
No.
Wow.
What is it? 22 episodes
It's-
I think
season?
it's 20.
It should be about 22, 23. It varies.
We'll look.
All right.
But it's usually around that number.
I'll find out.
We'll find out.
What
Sorry,
about
we should
Toby
know
and
that.
Happy?
We should know that. Anyway, yeah, so let's go on to, you know what, let's get on to Toby and Happy, because let's talk about Toby and Happy, first of all, in the beginning of the episode, because
yeah.
Toby did that little hand motion. Yeah, we're both demonstrating. Marina and I are
Yeah.
demonstrating on our
Models
partners,
to our-
and
our partners.
and Happy didn't like it. So and apparently Toby was laughing at her when she read the menu
But
and
they've
doing all sorts of stuff.
That shows that they've both been over analyzing their interactions with each other, which means they're because like if I were to touch you, I wouldn't be like thinking about that tomorrow because you have a boyfriend, you know.
I mean, that's the main reason.
That's
all
the
the
main
reason.
reason. But
Because she got abs though.
She does have abs.
but we
I
definitely
saw yours
see.
today. You have abs too.
Thanks, girl.
There you go. Don't look at me. I'm not showing my abs.
I think Nando should be the one to show his abs because he's lost
He's
22
about
pounds.
to. Yeah. Going ham. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it
And
later.
he's running a marathon next
Yeah,
week.
the LA Marathon.
This
You guys
weekend?
should go find him.
Yeah, if you're
He's
running
running
it, find
from-
him.
If you're in
Dodger
LA,
Stadium.
just come find me.
From Dodger Stadium
Because there's going to
to
be
Santa
not many
Monica.
people at all. You just be able to point them out.
Come on.
We are digressing completely. We'll talk about the marathon at the end. I promise. And my abs if you really want. So anyway, so Toby and Happy. So, we've seen them a couple of weeks. I don't think it was the last episode. Again, everything starts bleeding, and it's been so long since we've seen 2 new episodes. I think it was 2 episodes ago when they had that almost kiss when they were at the school doing the fireworks for Ralph. And I even said it back then. I said, I think they're going to be doing something behind the scene, that no one else is aware of. And it looked like that for a second, but no, they're just focused on this almost kiss. And very interesting, but we get to see the first kiss finally.
Woo!
We finally get to see the first kiss at the end of the show, and it's Happy. And I think it was you were the one that called it, right? Was it you?
Oh,
Or was it you?
Maybe, I
I
don't
think-
know. I think I said they're gonna kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
But
Happy
it
calls
wasn't very
Toby
impressive.
over, and
It wasn't very impressive.
It wasn't very impressive.
No, I mean it wasn't very impressive on my part. It's not like I knew
Oh,
it from the
I was going to be like,
beginning.
I thought this kiss was pretty good for
No, the
them.
kiss was good. The kiss
I know
was
you
good.
meant. I know what you
Yeah.
meant.
I didn't.
Like I was not
apparently.
very impressed. My prediction was not impressive.
Okay,
guys.
all right. But the kiss, though.
Yeah, it was a
That's
big
good.
kiss. It was obviously Happy is the initiator because
I
Happy,
love that.
Yeah,
Because she's like a boss lady.
Yeah.
she is a boss lady,
Yeah.
totally. So Happy initiated it, big kiss. So finally.
Finally.
So we know now. We didn't see Megan either, but we know that Sylvester and Megan kind of have a little dating thing going on. What do you think this relationship is in comparison to Megan and Sylvester?
I think it's gonna be more fun to watch if they keep at least showing a little bit here and there in each episode. It doesn't have to show them like kissing every episode. That's gonna get boring. But just like how they interact, it might be different a little bit, or like
Definitely different because we
Yeah.
saw Sylvester and Megan like all lovey-dovey, like dancing. He was being so sweet with her, and then it's like Happy and Toby kiss, and Happy's like, okay, don't ruin the moment, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they're more like non-touchy, lovey-dovey. So it's good to have the both dynamics. You know.
And when you say there, you mean Happy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Toby would probably be like all about being
Don't say
touchy.
Tappy.
Yeah,
I know. I got
Yeah,
confused. I was
yeah.
trying to say Toby.
Yeah.
But yeah, Happy's the one that's like more reserved.
But
than
Toby, I think he would be like that, but he's too shy, and Happy's too like.
boss.
So we'll see what they like build up to.
We'll
Yeah.
see what they like.
Yeah, what they
what
like.
they want. So, okay. So, and now that we see everyone's coupling off, of course, it seems it's starting to at least couple off, except for Walter and Paige. And I think it makes sense that they were probably the last ones because that's the main relationship that everyone wants to probably see something happen with,
Yeah.
and we're not going to see that. That's
They
why
can't
we're
give it
gonna.
to
Sorry,
us.
they can't give. Well,
They're like,
your complaint is
keep
give
it
us something
here.
already, but they are. They're giving us Sylvester and Megan, which
And
I think
Happy.
is cute,
It
and they're
is.
giving us Happy and Toby, which has been a lot of fun. They've been a highlight of the season, seeing their interactions. So you can't really get too mad about them drawing out Walter and
It's expected.
Paige. It's expected.
And we should expect it
Expected.
because the last episode of the season is called Cliffhanger.
Ooh. Well, that could be a lot of things.
That means
I
But
know, but that's
they're probably
that's a
cliffhanging
pretty
it to
good
season
And the
two.
yeah.
episode before that's called Crossroads.
Crossroads. But next week's
not the Britney
episode-
Spears
So they're gonna
movie.
Has no
break
name.
up and then they're gonna kiss and then they're gonna leave
oh,
it.
maybe Drew's gonna come back.
Well, let's do
Okay.
that. Let's do that in predictions.
Predictions.
Let's do that in predictions.
But there's 21 episodes.
Yes, 21 on
Oh,
there.
so we're
awesome
almost
on IMDb. So
We're almost out.
let's talk about, before we go on to predictions, let's talk about, I think, what may be a big thing for the near future. We saw an argument between Merrick and Callow.
Oh.
And Merrick insinuated that Callow has not been completely honest or upfront with Walter. And Callow took major offense to that. So
Because I think he's doing that because he knows he's hiding something huge from Walter. That's what it alluded to, and I feel like he knows that if Walter finds out what he had done,
Yeah.
it's gonna ruin the complete relationship that they have.
Well, yeah, I think I know I predicted this earlier in the season. I felt like they were just setting Callow up as a more and more trust between the two of them, and ultimately this secret something was going to come up, and he was going to realize that Callow was not all 100% good guy to Walter or all upfront with Walter.
Hopefully, stuff hits the fan on the season finale, just because it would be very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a different plot to the show. It would be very interesting to see more conflict between them instead of just being the perfect team that always works perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel that if they, sorry, not to
No,
interrupt
go for
you.
it.
I feel that if that happened too soon, like if, let's say in the next 3 episodes, yes, Walter finds out what he's hiding, Walter wouldn't stick around because of what he experienced with him when he was a child. That was the same thing.
yeah,
As a child, he
exactly.
also lied to him.
Well, the secret has to do with something from his
Yeah.
childhood.
We're
That's
still
what I
talking.
believe
Oh,
from
I thought
Eric.
this. I thought it was about a more recent thing.
No,
No,
this
no,
was
no.
about the software that
That
Walter
built.
did back then. So there was something else, even though Walter claims to know what it
Like
was
what
about.
happened?
That's why
Something
I
about
thought it
what
was something
happened.
else.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
He
thinking
didn't
the
know.
secret. Well, honestly, I think the secret is Walter didn't think that Callow was behind that software. He thought that Callow was maybe just as much of a pawn, although he worked for the government, so he blamed him. And I'm guessing the secret is that Callow was
Was his idea.
It was his idea. Like he was 100% for it, and it was his idea from the start. That would be my guess. What the secret is, it would be something like that. But obviously, it took a good half a season almost to see the relationship between Callow and Walter develop, and to see Walter trust Callow. So for Walter to find out that he was probably right initially about Callow because of this secret would be, he would just leave. He would pack up Team Scorpion and it would
Paige
go.
will have a lot of damage control to do.
Yeah.
And whatever it is that Callow is, I mean, I might not be right 100% about what I think it is, but whatever it is, obviously he is pissed off at Merrick, and even at the very end, he's even like, I will not forget that you even threw that in my face and threatened me with it.
Right.
So to a lesser degree, I mean, we care more about the relationship between Walter and Cabe, but to a lesser degree, I'm thinking stuff's going down with, and we don't see Merrick too often, but I think
Yeah.
something's going to go down between Merrick and Callow because there's a little mistrust there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know the whole story. One of the last things that Callow says in the episode when they were talking about Paige, because they were talking about Paige going to night school, is Callow's like, everyone has secrets and they usually sometimes there's a good reason to have a secret. So I'm guessing we'll hear more about that secret coming
secret.
up.
Oh yeah.
I think that's pretty much about everything. Again, we didn't see Ralph. Drew's nowhere in the picture. We hadn't seen Megan. So yeah, it was just
okay.
it was an episode that I don't know. I just felt like
Yeah.
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 Yes, it was an episode.
It was an episode. Other than the
Another day,
kiss,
another
other than the
dollar.
kiss, I think that was the biggest thing. The
Yeah,
kiss,
we
and
made
maybe the
some
secret.
character development.
Yeah. But the
Little bit.
Storyline.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Well, anyway, so since we're done with this episode, why don't we talk about what we think is going to happen in
prediction.
predictions?
Still
And
that.
now, your
Yes, sir.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so thanks to Monty, thanks to Monty, we learned a couple of titles because she was at least smart enough to go on IMDb when the rest of us weren't.
Yeah.
So I have some ideas about those two. I mean, the next episode we don't have a name
Does
for.
not have a name.
Which
Okay.
is strange.
Yeah. There you have
Episode
the-
1.19. That's what it's listed as.
Some-
Sometimes
gonna
writers
get
work backwards, though.
crazy.
Sometimes they work backwards from the finale. They have an
Yeah.
idea. So
So they
chances
build
are,
up. Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
chances are that the last 2 episodes might be done.
I don't know about that, but it just means they have an idea what the names of them are
It might
because
be
they know what's
drafted.
going to happen. They're drafted, at least.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they were shot. They might have been
Story.
the script was written first.
Oh yeah,
Can
the
I-
script might be.
Yeah.
Can I guess?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
You said the one before
Predictions.
last
It's
was
Crossroads.
Crossroads.
I'm gonna say Drew comes back that episode.
Okay.
Okay.
And the Crossroads is gonna be something with Paige and Walter and Drew and her finally I want Walter.
I hope they intertwine all of the characters at some type of crossroads.
Okay.
Since they're going to
So
leave it
everyone's
on
going
a
on a
series
crossroad.
finale hanger, I want things to just be kind of left up in the air so that everyone wants to come back to season 2. It makes sense, right?
Okay.
Yes. But the cliffhanger is the episode after Crossroads. Those are 2 different episodes.
Cliffhanger
Yeah.
is the
So,
final
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, that's
of
what I'm
the
saying.
season.
So
Yeah.
that they leave it on the season or the season
So
finale.
you want the Crossroads to continue on to the cliffhanger and not be completed.
Yes, because yeah.
But that's
Okay,
just
See what I'm saying?
So you're
Yeah,
saying the
four
cliffhanger
weeks.
starts on Crossroads.
And that'll be
That's what
4
that's
weeks
it.
too. That's way too long.
I'm all confused.
It's all right. It's all right. Just think about Paige and her
Yeah.
prettiness.
What do you think?
I
Lindsay?
honestly, I don't know. The way this show is shot, it's so hard to really predict anything because of how I think they put a pin in stuff and then come back to it way later.
Yeah.
And it's a procedural, so it's like
Right,
Yeah.
but the way they develop the characters, it's so minimal, you know, like and that like something big happens and then they put a pin in it and we don't hear about it
right
until
because
2
it's like
3 weeks.
storyline driven, and then it's like we'll add character development here and
Right.
there.
Well, again, I mean, we've talked about it the last couple of times we've been on the show because it's just been so drawn out. Here it is, March, and I feel like we've only done 4, maybe 5 episodes this season so far, because it's been every other week. And even though, I mean, fans of Scorpion, if you want to tune into to repeats every other week, you know, you can do that. But for us, it feels like the momentum's getting lost.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like that. I mean, it's a
No.
procedural. It's not like a.
I don't even like waiting 1 week. Like I just, that's why I just
Yeah.
watch stuff online a lot, and then I'll just watch everything.
Binge
I watch
watch.
like
She's a
7
product
episodes
of
a day.
binge watching.
I think I watched 10 episodes of Grey's Anatomy at one
Well,
point.
you know,
one day.
Netflix has ruined our
back
lives.
when Lost was on the air, and I think this was around the beginning maybe of the DVR movement anyway. Lost had a lot of problems because Lost was a show that you had to watch every single week, and when they were doing repeats in between and they had these long breaks in between on ABC, that was a big complaint and viewership dropped. For a show like Scorpion, which is primarily a procedural, it's not as dangerous
Right.
Yeah.
as a show like Lost. However, again, I feel like especially this is the first season. We've already talked about how this season, how the first few episodes were okay. The pilot was great, and then the
Pilot
next
was
couple were
great.
great, and then it finally caught its stride. So to have this unevenness
Yeah.
within the season and show repeats in between, and you know we want to see certain things happening, and we have to wait 2 weeks just to get a little taste of what's next. That's just been annoying to me.
Yeah. Audiences like consistency, right? For everything.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
like consistency.
People
I
like
panic
people used to
when
binge
shows
watching
I
now.
love.
Right.
I mean, come on, how many people watched all of House of Cards last week?
Oh my
you
God.
know, or
I'm
the
still-
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I'm not saying anything.
I haven't seen season 2.
I'm not saying anything. Anyway, so that being said, I agree with you, Marina, about Crossroads. I think Crossroads has a lot to do with Drew, and I think the Crossroads is for Paige whether she moves to Portland or stays with
Versus-
Team Scorpion. I think that's what Crossroads is going to be primarily about.
Yeah.
As far as cliffhanger, I'm sure that's when The Secret might come out.
That's what I thought.
I think
Right.
it's going to be a big cliffhanger. We already know that Scorpion is around for next season. It got picked up by CBS, so we know that as a fact. So it's probably going to be a fun episode where it's, of course, going to keep us all guessing and wanting September to come soon enough.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to have a lot to do with The Secret. And who knows, maybe Paige actually does leave officially in that episode, and then we'll see in September if she comes back. But of course, she'll come back. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's about everything for
Yeah.
this show. There's a lot there, considering. So anyway, let's. I don't think we have enough mentions yet to show your abs, unfortunately.
No, but we can show yours.
No, we can't show mine. We can't show mine. Maybe next week. You know what we'll do? What we should do is the next episode we do. I've said this a couple of times. We got to read the comments. We really do appreciate you guys commenting on iTunes, on YouTube, wherever. We'd love to get some more comments on iTunes. It would really support us. As I think we still only have a few, but they're all positive for the most part. I think they're all positive. So
most
thank you
part.
for that. Well, from what
Haters gonna hate.
from what I've read, they're all positive. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, if we get 100 comments on our YouTube thread, we'll do something like you want.
We'll all
like,
show our
All
abs.
of them.
All
gotta
of them? You can't do that.
At
and
least
not
I will.
include-
I will. I have somebody has to say
At
ready.
least
1, 2,
50.
3. Show your abs. I'll do that.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, please subscribe and comment and rate and all of that good stuff.
Do it,
Guys,
do it.
where can we find you in the meantime till the next new episode breaks?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Ryland_Adams or on Instagram at RylandAdams, and you guys can catch me on Clever News throughout the week.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Marina Santos Fit, MarinaSantosFit. Woo, that was long.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos, and you can catch me Monday through Wednesday on Latino TV.
Wow. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Nandovel, NANDOVEL. You can also find me here at AfterBuzz for a bunch of shows, including The Walking Dead, The Blacklist, The following, Bates Motel starts this week.
He lives here.
I'm here a lot. Yeah. What else? I know I'm forgetting something else.
The following.
I didn't say the following?
I don't know.
If I didn't say the following Bates Motel, all of that stuff. And hey, you know what? I'm running the marathon on Sunday.
Yay!
Running the LA
Go
Marathon.
support him.
So if you follow me, I'll probably be tweeting a bunch of photos. Or you know what? Tweet at me on Sunday morning. Give me a
Wait, you
little
can
motivation.
run and tweet at the same time?
I'm gonna have my phone on me.
Of course, you got to get that playlist going.
I would be dying. There's no way I can even I
Running,
would pass
tweeting.
out.
Well, just give
Girl,
me some
you're like
support.
workout expert. You can run and tweet.
If I remember, I'll bring my medal. I'll bring my medal to our next thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye. We
From
expect the
executive
first
producers
place
Maria
medal.
Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.